Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. This is Our Take. We are your host. I'm Ocean.
I'm Taylor.
Enemy AC 130 above. I'm Connor.
Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to give you guys our take on the Screen Media and Millennium Media original film that came out in 2020, I believe. Oh, no, 2019. Sorry, 2019. This movie, we're doing this, ladies and gentlemen, as kind of like just a Veterans Day special, I guess we could call it, or so. But we just wanted to review a movie in honor of Veterans Day, and we figured we would go with the war genre. And this is actually a movie that I have never seen. I don't know. I think you've seen it before. Is this your first time seeing it?
No, I saw it back in like 2020 or something.
Yeah, I have not seen this movie yet, so pretty cool. But ladies and gentlemen, we're going to give you guys our take on The Outpost. Before we get into anything, real quick, I'll let Taylor give you guys a rundown of who's in this movie. Got some pretty cool people.
Yeah, there's definitely some notable people in this movie. Sorry, hold on.
You're fired.
Yep.
All right, so some of the big name main people, or three really big name people that they have in this, is Scott Eastwood. He plays Staff Sergeant Rowe is his nickname. I don't remember his last. It's like Rowe Mesha or something.
Mm-hmm.
That's Clint Eastwood's son.
Yeah, if you didn't know.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
If you guys didn't know the last name Eastwood, it's Clint Eastwood's son.
But he honestly, when he gets older, dude, he's gonna look just like his dad.
He's gonna look
because
exactly
he
like
looks
Scott
so
Eastwood.
similar to him even now.
Yeah. Can't wait for the next.
Really
Gran
good
Torino.
too. But we also got Caleb Landry Jones, who plays Specialist Carter, and then Tim Nissen's Orlando Bloom plays Captain Keating.
Team Missense.
That's so funny.
That's a good one.
But yeah, those are the big three names. We also have Milo Gibson, Taylor John Smith, Jacob Scipio. I don't know if I pronounced it correctly. Corey Hardick, Quayme Peterson, and Henry Hughes, and Jonathan Younger.
Alrighty. Well, that's your guys' cast list, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to do this in traditional style, as always. Give it a quick spoiler-free talk, some scores, and then dive into the spoilers. Let you guys know how we feel. It's all about feelings here on this channel. Spoiler-free thoughts. I guess since I'm the only one that saw it for the first time, I'll start, and then I'll let you guys kind of talk about your experience watching it again. This movie does some very I don't know how to put this. Like, the things that it does really, really well, it does really, really, really well. And then there's some very clear things that are not good about it, but I think that has more to do with budget issues and stuff like that. But the things that it does well, I think it absolutely knocks out of the park. And I'll kind of get into a little more detail in the spoilers about that. But I think that for a lot of people, the things that it does well might be kind of off-putting and stuff. But for service members, I think this is like, it just knocks some very specific things out of the park for. So I enjoyed the movie. I thought it was solid. Really, really good story. I know the story about Camp Keating. I had known that before. And I think they did a really good job about that story. Well, bye-bye, Tyre. But yeah, I liked it. I thought it was pretty solid. I'm not sure why I hadn't seen it before, but yeah, thought it was solid. What about you, Connor? Seeing this for the second time, what did you think?
Yeah, I love this movie. Like I was saying earlier, it brought me back to like Lone Survivor, kind of feelings, and just really good overall. I think for me, not being a military service member or have been in the military service, it's still, I think it's really good that we get these like emotional, more close knitted, character driven kind of military stories. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what makes them really good, and also, I mean, obviously the action in this film, even though this film is obviously, like you're saying, low budget, it's still really well done, to me at least. I was like pretty invested the whole time, and everything seemed pretty realistic. I don't know. I always like it when a movie kind of tricks my brain a little bit. And I'm like, are those real rounds? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I like that though. It's like, yeah, that's be fucking crazy if they're shooting real rounds at each other.
Sometimes they are.
Yeah. But obviously there's no way that that's happening.
Unless
But
you're on Alex Baldwin. So.
yeah, well, oh, sorry, yeah, that's but yeah. Overall, I loved it. I thought it was really good. I was got my fucking red hot American blood flowing. The entire movie, I was bleeding red, white, and blue. I was like, kill those fucking motherfuckers. You know what I mean?
Purge the heretics.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah. That's what they're saying.
I was like, you get on that 50 cal and you shoot that motherfucker.
Yeah. What about you, Taylor? Watching it again, how did you feel?
It's super awesome. I love this movie a lot. There definitely are things that are could be improved on in this movie, mostly because of budget restraints. But overall, I thought they did an excellent job portraying a lot of different things, and the overall story, which is though also not new to me. Like, it's just super well done, honestly, and like. There are certain aspects of it that are like obviously, I guess, like glorified in this, but I think for a theatrical release, like it's actually really well done, and it's also like at least I think, a generally just kind of like under the radar kind of movie. Yeah, I kind of just randomly discovered this when it came out, and then like looking at it, you're like, oh, this just looks like a B movie or something.
Yeah.
But it's actually really, really good for what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. I had no idea that it came out when it came out. I had no idea it was coming out. I think that like in my scrolling on Netflix, I might have seen it once or twice and like looked at it, but I never clicked on it. You know,
yeah, like it doesn't stand out to
me.
Yeah,
it doesn't. I just happened upon it when it came out.
It was definitely a very pleasant surprise for me when I did click on it and watched it.
Yeah.
And I still enjoy it. So,
well, ladies and gentlemen, those are our spoiler-free thoughts. We'll dive into some scores real quick. As far as the score goes, what are you feeling, Taylor?
I think I would give this movie an 8.
Yeah, solid. What about you, Connor?
I'm gonna give this movie a 9 out of 10.
Sick. Okay. For me, this is another decimal point, potential like it would be, but I think because it's Veterans Day, I'll go 8. No, we'll go, since it's for Veterans Day, we'll go with an 8 instead of a 7. But yeah, those are our scores, ladies and gentlemen. You got our spoiler-free thoughts. We're gonna talk about spoilers now. This movie, you can find it on Netflix if you haven't seen it yet. If you want to watch the movie before you listen to us talk about it. It is just over 2 hours long. Keep that in mind. But you can find it on Netflix. It's worth a watch, in my opinion, 100%. Give it a watch, especially around times like this where, it's a time of remembrance and you want to honor people that are like this, that have put their lives on the line. Yeah. I think it's really good for that. So, check it out on Netflix. Otherwise, we're gonna get into it, ladies and gentlemen. This is gonna serve as your official
spoiler alert.
Okay, so this might be the best portrayal of the inner workings of like people that are deployed or like are in the army that I've ever seen. Like how they interact with each other, how they talk, like what they do, the funny stuff that happens.
There's a lot of funny stuff in this too.
Yeah.
Like that scene of the two guys holding each other.
I love you.
I love you.
love
Say
you.
it louder. I love you.
Yeah.
It's just like on it. Like nowadays, that would probably get sharp. Like that would probably be in the sharp brief. Don't do that. But it's just so funny because that I guarantee you that happened before. I guarantee you.
Oh, yeah.
That was a real.
I mean, that's pretty mild for
a
what's
real
probably-
thing that happened. And I think it's awesome because it's like, yeah, you guys are fucking brothers. You're here to take care of each other and watch each other's back. Sure, everybody gets into scuffles here and there, but you gotta fucking be able to make up and figure it out. And it's funny when you make them do it like that. It's just hilarious. But it also does a really good job of portraying the different types of people that are in the military.
Yep. They cover a lot.
They cover a wide variety. They cover everything from the hoorah gung ho of like the
Fucking
Captain Keating that Orlando Bloom plays. He's just all about the mission, trying to get the mission done, capturing the hearts and minds of the people, all that kind of stuff. He dies, because that's what happens when you're a good person, you die. And then you have on the other spectrum somebody like Specialist Carter, who's like an outcast essentially. Like he doesn't really fit in with anybody, and it can cause rifts within the ranks. But then at the end of the movie, he ends up being one of the heroes. Right? He got the Medal of Honor, right?
He's one of them.
Yeah. I think it's the only time they said it at the end of the movie. I can't remember the exact verbiage or phrase that they used, but it's the only time that two living service members received the Medal of Honor for the same event, I believe.
Something like that. It was like for like at least 50 years or something.
Or it might have been just in a long time, but yeah, I guess
because generally, it's kind of sad, at least to me.
You don't get the Medal of Honor usually unless you die. Right?
Yeah,
yeah.
It's pretty.
We're honestly just getting awards in general. It's kind of ridiculous that like people there's like an extreme investigation into things for people that get recommended for that award. Obviously, it's the highest thing you can possibly get.
I mean, have you seen A Few Good Men?
But which is good. But
it's an amazing movie.
It's just ridiculous to me that like some people like some of the stuff they do because obviously there's like a lot of people that have earned it, but I mean not compared to like the overall world, but there's a decent amount of people that have gotten it, but they're all like way like past their time and they're like dead and stuff.
Oh, you mean posthumously?
Yeah, which is it's just because insane.
Because the investigation takes so long.
It takes so long to do that. By the time they actually get it, it's like
the investigation can take decades to.
And I know it doesn't make a difference to them personally, but it's just stupid.
I 100% agree. It is super frustrating that something like that, something that the people that have sacrificed on that level have to be scrutinized at that level is crazy to me.
Or even people who didn't die, but I mean they put everything on the line to fucking save their buddies, go out there and
it's like in this particular story, right? There's two people that received the Medal of Honor, Specialist Carter and Staff Sergeant Romesha, who is Sergeant Rowe. But they both did some pretty crazy heroic things, which 100% deserving. But there's also a lot of other people that in this particular story that I think did just as heroic things.
Yeah,
like the two medics, the captain, I forget his name, Captain Cordova, and I think Specialist Griffin is the other medic.
Yeah,
those two guys, those guys did some work while they were there.
Yeah.
Running out into the battlefield to get guys, like essentially doing field surgery, instigating, which I'm pretty sure, somebody can correct me if I'm wrong about this, but I'm pretty sure this is one of the events that started the Walking Blood Bank initiative for the Army, which is like basically when you're on a post or something, you register with your blood type, and then if there's something that happens and they need blood, they just call everybody that is that particular blood type, and you just walk in, give your blood, and walk out. So I'm pretty sure this is one of, I could be just fucking talking out of my ass, but it's just like they did some incredible things. And then I also think lieutenant, what's his name? Blum something.
I can't remember his last name.
Bunderman, First Lieutenant Andrew Bunderman. Like it's just crazy to me that like an XL can step up and be that effective. Like all the XOs I've ever worked with, I don't know, man. But this guy, I mean,
specifically, lieutenants.
Yeah,
there's because you can be
like an
different
XO
levels
of a battalion, and you're like a captain or a major, but
But yeah, for this guy specifically,
typically these guys are wet behind the ears,
fucking insane,
just fresh out of college, and this guy he orchestrated an entire fucking battle and kept a bunch of people alive. Like, I don't know, it's so incredibly impressive what these guys were able to do and survive through, and I definitely think that everybody was deserving of the awards that they received. I mean, a lot of these people received Silver Stars and Bronze Stars and Distinguished Crosses, but like, I don't know, put them all in for Medal of Honor.
As a non-service member, for me, it's like, that's why I feel like it's kind of unfair on like who gets the Medal of Honor. You know what I mean? Because
so
there's so many fucking people who do like I've seen like, you know, not live league videos, but I've seen like GoPro videos of people in fucking combat that I'm like, dude, this shit is like, you're fucking crazy. You know what I mean? Like,
that's fucking nuts.
But you're like, but they're like, you know, they don't
just
like
another Tuesday.
Yeah, it's like, but
just
like,
another day in the office.
You know what I mean? Those people should get fucking Medal of Honors because they're literally like, I mean, I'm not gonna go.
Well, see, there's a lot of technicalities that come with the Medal of Honor, which is fucking crazy. Like even just as a small example. Let's say your platoon is pinned down in a building, a grenade lands in the building.
Yeah.
One of you decides to jump on it so that everybody else lives. When that gets investigated, they'll be like, well, was something wrong with his head?
Yeah.
Was he crazy? Was he suicidal?
Yeah.
Shit like that is
like,
the first thing they have to go through, like this entire process. And it's like, come on, dude.
Yeah, why? What the fuck is the point? I mean, the guy literally
I just don't understand.
And then on top of that, then there's like the army like, well, he's trying to save his buddies. And that's kind of part of our responsibilities. And they're like, yeah, but like, bro, that's over like over the top.
There's nowhere in any of our literature or anything that says I have to lay down my life for somebody else. There's nowhere that it says that.
But the fact that they do, that people do that,
it says that we will protect our brothers, that we will never leave anybody behind. It says that kind of stuff, but it never says that I have to die for somebody else in any of our literature.
But it's something they expect. Like people just expect it, so it's like
because we're in the military.
But like that doesn't mean it's like easy to do.
Yeah, and it's not any less of a big deal.
Yeah,
you know,
it's just as heroic as anything. You know what I mean? It's like
to be
running out to grab your buddy who's down and like your
in the
fucking
middle
squad's
of a
not even there,
fight.
and you're just like under gunfire from like 50 dudes, and you're fucking shooting everybody. And you're like, I'm getting this fucking guy out. You know what I mean? Like that's fucking heroic, and
100%.
That's like I would give that guy a fucking medal. I'd be
which is why Specialist Carter at least was one of them that did get it for doing what he did.
So but
like how many people didn't? You know what I mean?
To be the devil's advocate, and the only excuse that I could, or the only like argument that I would give value to against what we're saying is that like the Medal of Honor is supposed to be reserved for the highest acts of heroism, right? And I'm not saying like it's hard to distinguish like, okay, this guy's act of heroism was more heroic than this guy's act of heroism, but like if we're trying to just reserve one award for the guys that are just out of the top, just insane, like insane crazy acts of heroism, then I get being like very selective about what you give the Medal of Honor for.
Sure. But I mean, does the people who weren't even there or aren't doing anything, you know what I mean? Like they get to make that decision.
Well, I just don't like what I don't like
who
is
are there or are actively out there. You know?
I mean, I can understand. I can understand using a third party to help with the situation, but I don't like the scrutiny that people go through. There's a difference between like just trying to get the whole story and like being like, okay, like what exactly did he do? Did he travel 100 meters? Did he travel 200 meters? Like, you know, did he pick up 5 guys? Did he pick up 12 guys? Like I understand that. Gump? Yeah. Is he
save
Desmond
his entire
Doss?
company?
Is he Desmond Doss and rescued like 30 dudes off a ridge? Like that I get that part, but it's the part like that you're talking about. Like, okay, did he sacrifice himself because he's suicidal, or like, is there a way for us to explain away or like to get rid of the heroic acts that he did?
Which I like. I understand the process, but it's kind of a shame that
I think it is too.
Yeah.
Strict it is.
Because what benefit would it do for anybody that put that person in, like whatever officer or person that wrote up the recommendation for award, which is how it has to work, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if you guys know that, but somebody has to like recommend you for the award, and they have to write out like this whole packet of stuff of like, why do you deserve it, what did you do, and all this stuff. So like, what benefit would it be to that like commander or whoever to falsely recommend somebody for like a Medal of Honor or something?
Well, that's something that's shitty too, and this is something that kind of plays into this whole aspect, which is something that like you might not know, and you see it in this movie, is there's also an unfair level of treatment for awards within like just your standard ranks. So somebody that's a private might have gone through the exact same experience when he's walking out, Purple Heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then the captain,
gets a distinguished
I'm
service
not
cross or whatever.
trying to be specific to this particular
No, I know what
event,
you mean.
but that captain could have literally just been there,
Just
but not be in danger.
Sat in the talk the whole
Just
time.
be sitting there, yeah. And like, did whatever he needs to do. He's going to get a silver star.
Yeah.
And it's like fucking ridiculous I mean, I've experienced this many times throughout like my little fucking shit that I've had to do for training and stuff. It's kind of ridiculous. And on top of that, like, you might even get submitted for something very high.
Yeah.
Because that's happened to me. Like, after doing a particular potentially life-saving thing for an event, I got submitted for a high award, and it got fucking shut down. Yeah,
really, I hate
really
when like I've been put up for like some pretty high awards for, because I'm a medic, so it's a little bit different, and that's hard for our job profession in particular, because my job profession is literally to save people.
Right,
like
so
we're expected to save people, so when I do, it's kind of like, well, that's kind of your job, bro.
Exactly. Yeah,
but like at the same time,
there's
been some situations where like, I don't know, I personally feel like I went above and beyond, but whatever, I don't really care. But like they do this thing of where like you get recommended for like this level of award, and then they bust you down to like the just an AAM or something,
Well,
it's
see,
just like,
most of the time that I saw, it was like, all right, I'm putting you in for a fucking RCOM.
yeah,
You end up with a fucking COA.
yeah,
It's a fucking piece of paper. In case you're wondering, it's just certificate of achievement. It says fucking bitch.
It's just like,
piece
oh,
of paper
thank
that
you.
does literally nothing. I mean, okay, it's
Dude, my
not literally
favorite-
nothing. It gives you some promotion points, but
yeah,
it's
but like,
basically
okay,
nothing.
so it's basically them giving you a piece of paper saying,
Go fuck yourself.
Thank you for your service. And that was one of my favorite parts about this movie.
Okay,
is when
it is true.
everybody's saying thank you for your service, because it's so funny to me.
Okay, so I want to say this too, right? For those of you that are not veterans or whatever,
Oh,
I'm not this like because you're gonna pick it up on a lot in this movie. Don't take this the wrong way.
Yeah.
You're totally welcome to do that, and I, welcome you to do that if you see somebody that you want to say like for a veteran. Just know that to us, it's a fucking meme, because it means
it's hilarious.
like just hearing it, not from other people, but just like hearing those words. It's like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah. from the general public, we appreciate it. For the like, at least for me, from the
for us,
general public,
it's just a joke.
I appreciate it. If you say it, awesome. If you don't, it's
I don't
all
care.
good. It doesn't matter to me. But when my buddies, like when we say it to each other,
dude.
it's more like an insult. We're
Yeah,
more
it's
like,
my favorite
"Fuck you,
thing
dude."
to do whenever
Thank
I
you for
was
your
in-
service. Like it's awesome when like oh damn.
Sorry, my bad.
We're under attack.
Oh god. It's awesome when you're like at the unit, like cleaning up, and somebody's mobbing, and you just walk by and be like, "Oh, thank you for your service."
Yeah,
like
it's
it's
one of my
so
favorite
fun.
things to do. Well, I usually don't say thank you for your service. I just say, oh, you're doing great things for your country.
yeah. Or you walk up behind them and start playing the army theme.
Oh, I've definitely made a lot of videos with that.
Yeah,
That shit's hilarious.
it's so funny.
Yeah.
Which I think it's so like this is like I was saying, this portrays such like great veteran just things. Like if you're a
There's
vet,
so many details.
if you're a vet and you watch this movie, you're just like, yep, Yep, that's funny. And then like a civilian, like a regular general public person would probably be like, these guys are assholes. But we're all just like, that's funny, dude.
Yeah, there's so many details packed in this movie,
It
which
does really
makes
good.
sense because a lot of the advisors for this were actual survivors of the
Yeah,
battle.
so what I wanted to say about this movie, because it is super low budget, right? I think it's like $2.5 million budget, which for the fact that they got Scott Eastwood and Orlando Bloom in there with a $2.5 million budget, and with the amount of explosions and like craziness that they had the entire time, that's pretty impressive. Like, I don't know, maybe Scott Eastwood and Orlando Bloom kind of did it like a pro bono thing. They just wanted to be a part of the project or whatever. But
I think Scott Eastwood is like a big advocate of like veterans and stuff.
oh
like
really?
that. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you, Scott Eastwood.
Yeah,
If you want to be on the podcast,
you were
let
awesome,
us know.
by the way.
Yeah.
I think.
But it just, for me, it feels like Scott Eastwood, Orlando Bloom, and like Caleb Jones or Specialist Carter. Those are like your like main guys that the story kind of revolves around. Not as much about Captain Keating, but everybody else feels like they just like pulled people from the army to come play these dudes, and they're like,
Which
hey,
is cool.
which is fine, which is what they did for Active Valor, right? Active Valor was it Active Valor that was
Active Valor did have actual seals.
Yeah,
but
and it made it rough to
that
watch.
movie sucked.
It made it rough to watch, and that's what I mean by this, is that like it was a little rough to watch outside of the core actors like Scott Eastwood and stuff. Everybody else was a little rough around the edges, and it made for some exchanges, some dialogue and whatnot. It ultimately doesn't like super detract from me, but like I could tell like, there's a significant drop off in acting ability and talent between the bigger actors and the lesser actors, which whatever. It's a low budget film, but to me, I just looked at it like, oh, these guys are just regular army dudes. Like they're just acting like regular army guys, and that was enough for me to kind of just be like, oh, whatever. Like, I don't mind the acting. So, but yeah, like I said, it does such a great job of portraying that veteran mentality that everybody has when they're in the shit, and it sucks. So,
What's one of your guys' favorite scenes in this movie?
one of my favorite scenes is the burning shit scene.
Oh.
It's like, this gives you cancer, right? He's like,
What?
dude. He's like, what? He's like, but we're not. Just like, dude, we're not gonna die of cancer. Like, we're gonna die way before that. I was like, oh shit. But yeah, that scene is fucking hilarious. I don't know. There's a lot of like really funny moments, but those funny moments are usually either preceded or like followed by some like crazy shit. That's kind of like,
Yeah.
oh
I
fuck.
think my
Which
favorite,
is pretty accurate.
yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite, not that like I preface everything that I say in this video is like I'm not a service member, so most of what I say doesn't really fucking matter.
Yeah, but you played a lot of Call of Duty stuff.
yeah, I put my fucking
He's the 5-star general. Right?
no.
He's the commanding general of the army.
Yeah, I'm the captain general of the commanding army officers. No,
Navy SEAL, Force Recon Marine.
Yeah. So
Ranger.
none of my shit that I really say like fucking matters in this video, but
Of course it does.
well, my opinion isn't really like coming from an outside perspective, not being in the service. Like all these guys that went through this shit in real life, you guys are fucking heroes. Like
Oh, for sure.
every single
Yeah,
one
of
of you
course.
guys, like regardless of if you get a fucking medal or not, you deserve one because this shit was. I mean, the whole fucking end of the movie is fucking crazy, and that's like my favorite moment. The whole like end, like 45-minute fucking fight scene or whatever.
Taking back control of the
Yeah.
camp.
Oh yeah, when
When they're getting overrun.
starting row, it's like fuck that.
Like it's funny.
Does the big dick
It's
move.
action packed and it's super sad at the same time.
Yeah.
Like all three of those things are happening all the time, and I was totally invested. You know what I mean? I was just like, fuck, don't die. And then the guy's eyes, I'm like, fuck. And then like, you know, the other guy just like gets on the 50 cal and he's like, fuck you. And I was like, I gotta fucking kill that motherfucker.
the emotions that they're able to
it gets really emotional.
Encapsulate between the laughter, the humor, the action, the, like you said, the sadness.
Yeah.
All of those emotions and how they interact with each other throughout this movie and how they play off of each other is exactly what it's like to be in the military.
Yeah.
Like shit just it flips so quickly,
instantaneously,
that you just have to fucking
like
roll
you can
with
have
it.
one scene where they're in the middle of the fucking battle and like bullets are hitting the fucking Humvee window and they're just like sitting in the Humvee like talking shit.
You got a cigarette?
You got a smoke? Bro?
Yeah.
You got a smoke, bro?
Wouldn't you be like?
Yeah, and then the guy's like, okay, I'm gonna go out there, and he's like, okay, he just like fucking runs out, and there's bullets hitting everywhere. It's like, dude,
I mean,
that's fucking crazy, you know?
It is crazy. It is, for
but
sure.
it's like, you know, that takes some fucking balls, dude. You get some fucking balls to do that shit.
I mean, that's like, this is like exactly why we're like the greatest military of all time, because it's just we're cool like that.
Yeah. This movie is we are the greatest military of all time. And these guys
But
did some fucking crazy shit.
however, why the fuck was this place even a thing? Like,
Yeah, terrible location.
whoever the fuck put that camp there,
I mean,
is the stupidest person of all time.
look, this is not like I think I've talked about this before, but this is the reoccurring theme that happens throughout history within our own country with every single fucking conflict.
Yeah.
For some reason, there's always a place, and there's in this case there was many.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Because that's just how the fucking geography of Afghanistan was. But there's always these shitty fucking shitholes that we, for some reason, are like, all right, here, I want
just
a
decide
place
to set
here,
up in the worst
defend here.
place possible.
And
like,
it's
as
fucking
strategic
awful.
advantage, I don't think so.
None.
Put it right here.
What does this do? Nothing. Perfect. If it makes
Is
sense,
everybody gonna die? Sweet, put it there.
Yeah.
it's a
That's fucking
sacrifice
stupid.
I'm willing to make.
It's like, come on.
Lord Farquaad.
Yeah. But
Like,
yeah,
like the whole fucking end of the movie, I'm like, there's no fucking way. Like, it's like the whole fucking thing is like surrounded by a mountain,
Yeah,
and they're all on the mountain. It's like, you guys, who the fuck thought this was a good idea?
that's why it's great. And
I'm
it's,
saying,
it's like,
so stupid.
I mean, it sucks.
I mean, they're
and it's
fucking
like
hella
shitty.
heroic.
But in the beginning, when the new troops arrive, and they're like, it does this great pan around of the valley,
Yeah.
and you're like, wow, this sucks.
It's like you have no good
And he's like,
defensive
sir,
position.
shouldn't we be on top of the mountain
Yeah,
to win the
nah,
war?
that'd be too logical, son.
That's exactly what would happen.
Yeah,
If it makes sense, don't do it.
100%. And
There's the right way and there's the army way, all right?
I've experienced it so many times where I'm just like, wouldn't it be better to be like over there or like do this? And then like, you know, somebody else would be like, dude, if it makes sense, then we don't do it. We do the opposite. Yeah, that's the army for you.
Yeah.
We're the greatest fighting force of all time, but we're also
Yeah.
the stupidest fighting force of
They're
all
on the
time.
they're in the shittiest place on the fucking planet, and they still defended that shit.
Somehow.
They
Yeah,
still
somehow.
held it. You know what I mean?
With not a lot of
that-
people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That shit.
I mean, I feel like they said there was like 20 or something ANA guys,
Maybe, if they show
and
up.
then if they showed up, and then I want to say there's like 40 soldiers. or
So in total, I believe there's 45.
Oh,
That's
shit.
fucking tiny.
It's so
Yeah,
small.
compared to like the 200 dudes,
Like
that were on the
including
fucking mountain.
your staff and your S shops and all of that, having 45 guys, you have like no fighting force.
Because honestly, that's like
That's a
almost
fucking
less than a platoon. Like a full size
full platoon is like 60
is
or
60
so.
generally for
Yeah.
an infantry platoon. You have less than that for an
The
entire company.
camp.
Like, what the
that's
fuck,
fucking
bro?
Crazy.
And they fucking
And they
nailed
handled that shit,
dude.
dog.
Yeah.
And that's why we're like the stupidest fighting force of all time, because we put ourselves in that position. We're also the greatest fighting force of all time because we actually accomplished mission, or well, we survived at least, I should say.
Survive.
Survive.
Yeah, I mean, they fucking.
Bro,
You guys did an amazing
yeah.
job.
They fucking.
Don't say you guys like me and Taylor were there.
No.
I definitely was not there, ladies and
Yeah.
gentlemen.
Touchdown.
No,
I just want to make that very
I'm talking
clear.
to you guys, the people who were actually there.
I'm
you
a
guys did
fucking pogue, right?
I just want to make that very clear.
Yeah.
I am in no way even close to any of these dudes that were portrayed in
No.
this movie at
No,
all.
no.
Yeah, no, these
I'm
guys
not
were,
even remotely close to
these guys were like real life space marines. They were
Yeah.
just fucking
Yeah.
like I mean, some like
You can probably say that about my dad, but not me.
Yeah, no, dude, I'm just a lowly medic. I don't do shit.
But
yeah, actually, I have this thing on my back.
ibuprofen.
That's
drink
how
water,
it always starts, man. Hey doc, can you look at this for me? And it's usually at like 2 in the fucking morning.
change your socks, drink water, take
and
ibuprofen.
it's usually a picture of their balls. And it's like, fuck, dude, stop doing stupid shit.
But one of my favorite scenes in this, and it's a funny scene, is Captain Keating walks into the talk and he's got everybody, or most of the people there.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can't have everybody there at once, but yeah, he's like, "Hello, is this thing on? Does this work?"
And he's just tapping
And
his rake.
as if it's like a microphone.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, nope. No, everybody says yes, but there's one dude that over talks everybody. He's like, the army made it, so nope.
No, yes.
It's so funny, dude.
It's so funny. There was another funny moment when like they're for some reason everybody's waterboarding each other in the barracks because that's just what we do when we're bored.
Yeah.
They were waterboarding each other in the barracks, and it was the Lieutenant Bunderman on the bench getting waterboarded, and they're just trying to see how long everybody can go. And then Captain Power walks in and looks at everybody, and he's like, trying to boost morale, huh? Well, I lasted 10 seconds.
Yeah, it was funny because somebody, after he had finished, I think he did 6 seconds.
Yeah.
Somebody's like, Captain Brower should give it a go. And then that's when he walks in. He's like, I lasted 10 seconds back in Iraq. And then he's like looking at the lieutenant like, just trying to boost morale. And I was like, trying, sir.
Yeah, it was great.
I mean, yeah, those guys are even in like the middle of fucking bullshit happening. They were still, you know what I mean?
Oh, that's the only way to get through it, man. The only way to get through bullshit like that is to just fucking find some kind of like laughter or humor, and usually it ends up being dark shit because that's all you can find.
Like the scene with I think it was Mace, I think, when they finally are able to get him, recover him, and they got him back in the truck. And then I can't remember the sergeant's name, but he's on the other side of him, and he's like, "Hey, look at me, gun to your head. Which guy are you fucking?"
Yeah,
that's the kind of like random shit we like. We'll say just to make a shitty situation like.
It was even funnier
Take your mind
with
off
bullets hitting the fucking truck the entire time.
It calls back to earlier in the movie when I'm pretty sure it was
Somebody
Mace asking somebody else.
Yeah.
What that same question, the other guy was like, "I don't need a gun in my head."
Chuck
Norris.
I always thought a beard would feel nice.
It is hilarious. But yeah, I mean, you're exactly right. In those kinds of moments, that's the only way to get through is to find humor. And when you're in a situation like that, the only humor you're gonna find is dark fucking humor that probably wouldn't fly in the real world.
Yeah, and there's no like. The thing I liked about this movie is that there's no like more dramatizations of like war movies. Usually there's like one person who's kind of like a coward and like doesn't, you know what I mean? But in this movie, like by the end of the movie, like the whole end of fight scene, nobody was like, "I'm just gonna run away," you know what I mean? Or like fucking like.
Except for your translator.
Except for you A&A guys.
Yeah, but I'm saying like nobody.
That's American folk.
The army, like the fucking mortar dudes, they were fucked, and they were just like fuck it, and they were just like you know what I mean? Like it was like very very like I was glad that they didn't have like some fucking like skunky dude like just ratting it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean it happens, but it's nice for sure.
Yeah.
Also, I want to give a big shout out to
it's like the guy in Saving Private Ryan. I just want to point that out. The fucking guy who just lets his
fucking
buddy get stabbed.
Yeah,
fuck that guy. I'm glad that there's no
ammo
fucking
runner.
Yeah, there's no fucking guy like that in this movie. Thank God.
Well, he was an ammo runner at the time, but he was a comm dude.
Yeah,
Camo. He wasn't even. Yeah, he literally just got ripped from his unit.
That's why he was an ammo runner because Camo is useless. But whatever.
Yeah.
Actually, no, he wasn't even that. He was a fucking typer.
Yeah, he was like.
Yeah. That's right. He was.
Well, they pulled him because he could speak a language, but his original job was just to type.
Yeah, he's just a scribe or
But
whatever.
even then, by the end of the movie, he's still a fucking rat coward, dude.
Yeah, I don't care what the fuck you did at the very end. You're still a bitch.
Yeah.
I fucking hate you, Upham.
Yeah.
Opal, that's his
Yeah,
name.
that's his name. Yeah, there's no open in this movie. So if you want a movie where the dude doesn't let his buddy die, this is the movie.
But this movie does have like I guess another side of it of like the obviously there's a lot of fucking shit that happens, but like the fucking dude that just loses his shit and gets taken out.
Yeah.
Because he
I mean, it's
literally
not-
has the fucking his new captain just blow up right in front of him, and he thought he had his brain in his mouth and shit.
Yeah, so there definitely is some there's definitely some like PTSD and stuff that they portray and whatnot, and I think they do a pretty good job of it. I mean, it's never easy and it's a tough subject to talk about and portray because it is such a shitty thing. But man, people that like in those situations, it's like impossible to not have PTSD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or impossible not to be fucked
Yeah,
up.
I mean,
with
when he
the brain.
steps on that landmine, I was like, oh,
Yeah. Was it a landmine?
pretty sure it was
Because
a landmine.
didn't
No,
wasn't
it
there
was
two other
a-
guys that crossed?
It was a pre-placed explosive.
Yeah, but it wasn't a landmine, right? It
No.
was like they were targeting the
Yeah.
captain.
Oh.
They were trying to get the captain.
I thought you just stepped on it. And then it was
No,
No, because
they
there's
were
another.
they were just waiting until the captain was
yeah,
crossing.
there's two other guys that crossed first to go secure the far side.
Which this is like a shitty thing about just like the entire fucking Middle East wars, like
Just
the
war in general.
evolution of
Yeah,
warfare. Because initially, that's not a normal thing that would happen.
Right.
Usually, the first person is the one that people think is actually like most in
Yeah.
danger.
that's why it's always.
But it's not true. It changes because as they learn us and we learn them, they become like way fucking smarter than you think. And
Yeah.
like in the movie, they waited till the first people went over, and then they're like, "All right, here's the captain." They were like, they literally knew who he was
Yeah.
and had observed him for days and made sure
Yeah, they
that
saw
when he
they
fucking
saw them
went
observing
over,
them, but they just couldn't do shit about it.
yeah,
Yeah.
which is so funny.
Yeah, it was just fucking slog.
This is another funny moment. Where I mean, in the movie, it's not really supposed to be funny, but it's funny to me because it's just fucking stupid. But when Captain Broward
Yeah.
was grilling Sergeant Rowe about whether or not he had PID, which is positive identification, and basically what it means is like us as U.S. forces, our rules of engagement typically are you cannot fire on anybody unless you are either being fired upon or you see intent to fire or something like that. Like, there's different rules of engagement depending on the situation. And Captain Broward was asking for positive identification so that they could shoot mortar fire on the people. And the whole time they're getting shot at. And Sergeant Rose was like, I don't know. Where the fuck are the bullets coming from then, man? Like, if I don't have positive identification, then who's shooting at us? Like, it's just fucking hilarious. 'Cause it's just like so
I
true.
mean, yeah, like in this situation, it's like it is stupid, but
Yeah.
he's not technically wrong.
He's not.
It's just
And
stupid.
that's why it makes it funny because both sides are not wrong. It's just a shitty, unfortunate outcome of how our stuff is structured.
Right.
But it's funny to me because I definitely have seen that before.
That's what I'm saying,
In
man.
real
You can spend trillions of dollars on jet planes and missiles. Why don't you take those trillions of dollars and just make power armor? Did everybody, you know what had happened? They would have set off that explosion, and that dude would have been completely fine. He would have been like, "You didn't get me, bitch."
Yeah,
He would have just
exactly.
walked back.
That tickled a little bit.
Yeah, he'd be like, "I don't even know what
I mean,
that was."
hey, you see where the money does go by the end of it.
Yeah, but
like you see
how long
the
did that take to
full,
get there?
the full might of the fucking United
I
States of
love
America.
the Apaches coming in, and it was a female. And then Sergeant
for your
Rose like,
service, man.
Thank you for your service, man. And then you see the puddle, and you see the B-1 fucking fly over.
Which, by the way, that particular shot I actually thought was really cool because it's a clever way of stretching your experience as a viewer with your budget. Because Carter looks down because he's like getting shot at, and you
Right.
see the puddle, and then like you said, you see the silhouette of the B-1 flying over. But you know that
You
to
don't
do
actually
that
see
is
the-
so much cheaper than cutting to the fucking thing flying in the air, and you
Yeah.
have like an actual
Either
fucking
having a
plane
B-1
flying
actually
or
flying,
CG.
or yeah.
Yeah.
like fully animated CG. Like I thought that was a really cool fucking thing for them to do.
Yeah, no, you're right. I didn't really think of it like that. I just thought to myself, oh, that's cool. Instead of seeing the plane, to see it in the puddle. It just added to like the ominous feeling around the B-1, which most people probably don't know, but it's like one of the greatest bombers of all time. But
And there was also
big, dude.
a super cool
massive.
sequence with I believe Griffin. He goes out because obviously there's people fucking dropping everywhere with the stretcher.
litter. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that shit.
And it's
The whole
honestly,
time I was just like, dude, stop fucking falling over. Get the fuck up and run, you dumbass.
well, I liked it a lot because it kind of reminded me of Saving Private Ryan, just the way it's shot and filmed.
Yeah.
Where you're following the entire time, but it's like interesting, like third person perspective.
It's kind of like a front corner view.
Yeah. And so you like it just looks super like immersive because you're like, oh shit, let's go, come on, you got this. And you're like he'll trip like get the fuck back out, let's go.
There's like fucking just fire raining down all over the fucking
and
place.
he's just like, oh shit.
Yeah.
The other thing that I think really added to the atmosphere that sometimes I think would be a negative, but in this particular situation, it actually was a positive. They never like showed the camp and was like, here's the med tent here, or here's the medical bay, here's the talk, here's the ammo depot. Like they kind of just briefed like, oh, our ammo depot is 40 yards that way.
Yeah. And then you just follow the characters going.
And then you're just along for the ride and you have no idea. And it like for me, it immerses me more into the story because if I was actually there watching, I'd have no idea where the fuck anything is. And this guy running from the aid station to the fucking LRAS 1 or whatever, like I don't know how far that is. I don't know how long it's gonna take him, what turns he's gotta take. So the whole time, wherever he goes, is all brand new to me, and I'm like, oh shit, oh god, like it just added to the atmosphere, and I really like that.
No, you're absolutely correct, and honestly, it does work really well because it doesn't really matter where the fuck something is or how far it is. You could be like, oh yeah, LRAS 2 is like fucking 50 meters that way.
Right.
Because in the moment, it could be fucking 10 miles. It could be 5 feet. It's going to feel like fucking forever regardless.
Right. Yeah.
So it just adds
entire
to
time
the...
you're just like, don't die.
Yeah, it just adds to the immersion of how it probably felt in the fucking situation where you're just like, doesn't matter where I'm going. I'm going to try to get there.
Yeah, another reason why
the
battle scene is like my favorite scene because it's just so, like there's every emotion is portrayed in the scene in the whole.
Because I mean, when Sergeant Rowe was like, "We got to take back the front gate," and it's like, "Yeah, okay, that makes sense."
Yeah, where's the front gate?
That sounds impossible.
How do we get there?
You guys are fucking overrun, dude. It's like Jesus.
That was another. Sorry, I'm just remembering all these little funny snippets that in the moment it's not supposed to be funny, but it is funny to me. When the I don't know who it is, but he's running around. Charlie in the wire. Charlie in the wire.
Who's Charlie?
Yeah.
Sergeant Rowe stops. It's like, who's Charlie? He's like, enemy in the wire. I was like, that's so funny.
It's funny. Well, I think it's really funny because that's basically like the
Vietnam.
Right. That's what it's in reference to is from Vietnam War. But like that's probably just like clear distinction between like somebody like us and like a boomer. And you're like, oh god, Charlie, look out. Who the fuck is that?
Who the fuck is Charlie?
Like, bro, you didn't watch
Why are we worried about him being in the wire?
You didn't watch Apocalypse Now?
South American.
Who's Charlie and what is he doing here? Yeah. So funny. All right. Well, what I want to end this video on real quick is I just want to give a heartfelt thank you to everybody that has served in the United States military. I know that my freedom to do this podcast, to sit here and talk about this stuff, to live in this house, to have the freedom to work and feed my family and live has been bought and paid for by the lives of countless people. And I just wanted to say thank you to each and every one of those people that has made the ultimate sacrifice, as well as everybody that has just served. Like, thank you, Taylor, for your service in the United States military, and I appreciate the sacrifices that you have made. And I also want to say
thank you.
Thank you guys for your service.
Thank you for your service. But I also want to give a huge shout out to all of the like military spouses and military families out there. Us as service members, we can't do it alone, and it does take all the support of our wives, our family, our moms, dads, friends. It takes the support of everybody to be able to do the things that we have to do, and without you guys, supporting all of the veterans, it just wouldn't be possible. So thank you to everybody that I just mentioned. I really appreciate it. And today is yours. Today is your day. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. I hope you guys had a good day.
Happy Veterans Day.
And
For those of you out there that do like to participate, happy hunting with all your fucking free deals and shit.
yeah, free pancakes and
Free food
dude,
and
you
discounts and
yeah.
stuff.
Dude, go for it. You guys have earned it. You guys have earned that right to partake in those free and discounts and whatnot. I mean, there's no greater display of love than sacrifice and to lay your life down for somebody else. I mean, you deserve the world. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I got for the Outpost. Anything else you guys want to mention?
No, I mean, it's an awesome movie.
Yeah.
Highly
Yeah.
recommend it.
9 out of 10.
Go check it out, guys. Thank you guys for being here. Appreciate you. Happy Veterans Day to all of you guys out there. Love you guys. Thank you for all the love and support. Please like, subscribe, comment, share with a friend. Check out our social media as well as the other shows here on the channel. And we'll catch you guys in the next episode.
Live the legend.
Bye, guys.